We are floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingman Show, where we're floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingman Show. My name is Commander Drew Brown. My wingman, my friend, the guy who always watches my six, is Dr. Paul Thompson. How are you, Brother Paul?
I'm doing very well, Commander Drew. It's good to see you. Have a very colorful background. And I wonder, are you still in the United States or somewhere else?
No, I am traveling on the Mediterranean right now, and we're going to the island of Crete in Greece because Mykonos, where we were supposed to go, just got a little too windy, so they changed courses. But as you can see, I got that A6 over the Resilient Lady on Virgin Voyage. All right, let's start off this show with the quote of the day. The potential for greatness lives within each of us. That's by Wilma Rudolph. The potential for greatness lives within each of us. What do you think about that, Doc?
Yeah, it does. To me, it means you need to get started. You don't know what you can do unless you try. For those who don't know, Wilma Rudolph was a famous sprinter. I believe she won the gold medal in the Rome Olympics, I think in 1960. I wasn't watching the Olympics in 1960, but I think that's when she competed. But she's a very famous track and field person. Yeah, you may be able to do good things. You just have to get started.
Well, Wilma Rudolph also was a lady tiger, and she actually ran for Tennessee State University where Katrina got her master's from. So she's big time in sports. She really was a great person. I think that's a great quote because greatness lives within each of us, but you got to get up and start doing something in order to see that. So, first of all, I want to start off, Dr. Paul, by saying thank you to Virgin Voyages. They upgraded us. We're on a cruise in the Mediterranean. We started in Greece. We'll end up in Greece, but it's a wonderful cruise. We're actually going to go on to Istanbul. But I want to say thank you so much to Virgin Voyages for giving me this VIP and letting me talk to the world about this great cruise line. Paul, I will tell you something. I've been on a lot of cruises. I've even been on the USS Nimitz on a cruise, but there is no cruise line like Virgin Voyages. And I really mean that. That's from my heart.
I have a couple of questions to ask you. Now, I'm looking at the ship. Are all the ships the same? I know they have different names, but they're all
Yes, they have four ships, and all of them are exactly the same. So once you've been on one, you know your way around, and that's a benefit big time. This time I'm on the Resilient Lady. I started off on Scarlet Lady, but this ship is great, Paul.
Let me ask: does the captain ever make announcements or things like that, or how do you know when things are happening?
That's funny you should say that because Katrina and I, we were jamming at the pool. I mean, the pool was a party. And all of a sudden, the music stopped and this announcement came on. And one of the things that they like is they don't do announcements all the time. But this announcement came on from the captain that we're changing destinations. We're not going to Mykonos anymore. And that was because of high winds. We couldn't get into the port. So they're going to take us back to Crete. And believe it or not, the Nimitz brought me to Crete once. I went to Suda Bay. Do you want to hear that story real quick?
Yeah. We were supposed to go to Suda Bay once, and we never did. We had to change too, so I never made it there. Tell me about Suda Bay.
Well, this is a great story. So these Marines come on the ship, they come into the ready room, and that's where all the pilots hang out. And they make this announcement. Look, we got these new night vision goggles, and we need a couple of volunteers to go and hide. We'll take a helicopter, we'll drop you down in Crete. We want you to hide. And we're gonna find you. And we may rough you up a little bit, so don't get scared or anything, but we definitely will find you. And do we have any volunteers? And by that time, I think I was on the ship 6 weeks already. So I put my hand up. I couldn't wait to go.
Okay.
Anyway, Paul, they dropped me down in Crete. Do you know what I did? I dug a hole in the ground, laid down, covered myself with dirt. And I think you've seen it in the movie. I took a straw so my face was completely covered and I just was breathing through the straw.
Oh,
They
really?
could not see me.
Who's that? Was it Jason Statham that did that in the movie recently? Okay, with the straw. I think he was in the swamp or something like that. Okay.
So, believe it or not, I stayed there all night. They couldn't find me. So I finally got out of my hole and I went looking for them. And they were pissed off. You weren't in the right place. You weren't in the right place. Because they were so snotty when they came on the ship telling how we're going to definitely catch you and rough you up. Well, they didn't catch Dark Gable. That's for damn sure. The only bad part, though, Paul, was while I was in the ground, chiggers ate my legs alive. I mean, it was horrible. I was itching for days. And when I got back to the carrier, I went to the doctor and he said the only thing that can really kill these chiggers would be nail polish. And back then, women weren't allowed on our ships. So it was
Really?
very hard to find some nail polish. But anyway, that's my story of Crete. And now I'm going back to have a little fun there.
Yeah, and the good thing now, are you gonna like bury yourself in the ground again, or what's for old time's sake, or what?
Not even close. Not even close. I'm going to go to the beach, enjoy myself, and beautiful water out here too, with these white beaches. I just love it, and I can't wait to go. Now, did you ever hear about solo sailors? Because Virgin Voyage has this thing called solo sailors.
I did hear about solo sailors. I was going to ask you a couple questions about that.
Go ahead. I'm ready for you.
Yeah, I mean, have you encountered a lot of single people, on this cruise?
Well, Virgin Voyages does something very special. They have this thing called solo sailors, and those are singles who come on the ship and, looking for love, looking for friendship, or just looking for adventure. Well, they have all kind of little functions that they go to. And this is something that Virgin Voyage, they got this from a philosopher, and it said traveling in itself is an act of confidence. The fact that you went somewhere by yourself demonstrates strength. And you and I are very big on this. We don't want you to end up alone. Being alone sucks, so we need to work on ourselves. But you can't stay in your county. You can't stay in your neighborhood. There's a big, big world out there. There are billions of people. Now, Paul, you're an international airline pilot like myself. You're a Navy pilot like myself. We have been all over the world 2 or 3 times. Have you ever heard of Boudrum, Turkey?
Boudrum. Boudrum sounds like something that you would eat with like a salad.
Are you sure you would eat it?
Like tabbouleh, that's Boudrum and tabbouleh. I don't know.
Kabuli, Boojum, yes. Well, how about if I told you this? Boojum, Turkey is the place for the rich and famous. It's one of the finest places I've ever been to. Very expensive place. There were yachts everywhere. Katrina and I went to this beautiful place called Scorpios, very hootsy tootsie place. We sat there, we stayed all day, we ate some lunch, cost us $500. So this
Wow.
place is for the
What?
rich and famous, and you and I have never even heard of it before.
Okay. Was it a $500 lunch for 2 people?
For 2 people.
Was
It
it
was
was
very
was
expensive. I couldn't
was
believe it, but
was it
it
that
was some
good?
what am I gonna do? Run away from the check? I mean, it was what it was, but it was classy and it was nice. And the point being, if we don't even know about this, imagine how much more stuff there is out there. Anybody who can hear my voice, if you're lonely, get out of your neighborhood, get out of your county, go somewhere, travel. Don't ever tell me, "Oh, she left me and now I wanna kill myself." Look, there was billions of she's out there. For
Right.
guys, there are billions of she's. For girls, there are billions of guys out there. But you gotta leave your block. You can't hang out all the time where you live. You gotta go explore this world.
I agree. I agree. If you live in an area that has an interstate that surrounds your city or county or whatever, go beyond the confines of that interstate. Go outside of the loop. You'll never forget it. Go outside of the loop.
Well, I'll tell you what, traveling has always been something that we love to do. but there are still so many places that we haven't been. So I know people who haven't gone out of their neighborhoods or out of their counties. They haven't been to anything like this. Please get your butt up and travel. Go somewhere. You don't have to be by yourself. You don't have to wind up alone. That's not a very good thing. Well, let's talk about good things. How about some good news? You know, we talk about good news on this show. We don't talk about bad news. That's enough out there. Well, have you ever heard of Japanese walking?
I have. I have heard Japanese walking
Well,
recently.
what is it, Dr. Paul?
Well, it looks like it's a period of time where you walk briskly, then you walk slowly. It's like 3 minutes on, then 3 minutes off, and I think you can vary the time, but it's an interval training regimen, but just through walking, maybe not lifting weights, just walking. I do with body weight stuff, but, just walking, that's a simple thing we can all do instead of just going on a pace. You ever heard the term LSD? Not the drug, but exercise.
LSD? You
Yeah,
don't
they
mean
call
acid,
it
right?
basically long, slow distance.
Oh,
Uh, you
wow.
long, slow distance running at a constant pace. Supposedly, is not gonna help you as much as interval training and going fast, even for a short period. I think that's been proven.
Yes, it's called the Japanese walking trend, and you're exactly right. 3 minutes fast, 3 minutes slow, 3 minutes fast, 3 minutes slow. And what it does is it raises your heart rate, and that provides more oxygen into your body, and that helps everything. But if you don't like just walking regularly, try this. The Japanese way, it's been going on for 100 years, Paul.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that long, and they said do it for, like 30 minutes, 3 on, 3 off. I guess 10 intervals or 3, 3, that's 6. So I guess you do, like, 5 segments to get 30 minutes. But I'd say, dude,
That's
that's not a
correct.
bad thing. I may do that. Just try, maybe 20 minutes, whatever you can do, maybe an hour, I don't know. Do 3 minutes
Well,
on,
it
3.
depends on your fitness.
Yeah.
I want you to just start. Just start. Do one 3 minute slow, one 3 minute fast. Tomorrow, do it again. The next day, maybe add 3 more minutes. The idea is to be consistent with your workout. That's the idea. All right. How about some other good news? What if I told you, they say eggs are not good for you because it has a lot of cholesterol? Well, they just did a study that eggs may actually reduce cholesterol, not raise it. Have you heard of that?
I haven't heard of that, but as you said that, there's a natural healing doctor I see on my own every once in a while, and he was telling me I need to eat more eggs. He told me that just about a week and a half ago. Totally
That's
unrelated to whatever
because
you're saying.
Well, that's because eggs have good cholesterol, not LDL, not the bad cholesterol. And people always say, too many eggs, too much cholesterol. That's not true. They actually just did a study and it will lower your cholesterol. So, everybody out there, eat those eggs up. Here's my favorite one, Doc: the health benefits of laughter. They say laughter is the medicine for everything, which I truly believe. But I didn't know physically it boosts your immunity, it improves heart health, and it even reduces weight and reduces stress. Start laughing.
I can see the stress. I didn't know it would help reduce weight.
Yes, they did a study. They did a 12-week study. It was called, have a certain kind of yoga that stimulates laughter. And after 12 weeks, they actually showed the immunity and boosting your immunity is very important. It helps you not get sick, but it actually improved heart health and reduced weight and stress. All right,
Right.
Dr. Paul, do you know who the world's richest woman is?
I was gonna say Mackenzie Scott.
Nope. What if I told you Alice Walton, the heir from Walmart, is the richest woman in the world? And what if I told you she did something amazing? She's opened up a medical school that involves mental health and seeks to train future doctors in traditional medicine, but also, and this is so important, with an emphasis on holistic and preventative care involving mental, emotional, and social health, nutrition, and exercise. And that's something you and I talk about all the time. And matter of fact, you go to a bunch of doctors that don't do traditional medicine, do they, Paul?
No, no, they don't at all. In fact, a couple of them were asking me about stuff, which is really, really interesting, little fitness tips. Yeah, I read about her medical school, and did you know that the first I guess 5 groups of doctors come, they're gonna go tuition free. So if you're not
Really?
luck that yeah, that the first 5 cohorts, they call them, I think that each one is like 45 people or something. So for the first 200 some odd people, they're not gonna pay. After that, it looks like it's about 70K a year. I looked at the site, for a medical, for medical degree.
Right. Remember we talked about that medical school in the Bronx that was for free, that some
Yes.
rich person funded?
Yes, yes, yes. I forgot, she was the widow of a big, he's a Hootsy Tootsie Wall Street guy.
Yes, the Albert Einstein School, I think, in the Bronx
I
is
think so,
free
yeah.
for
That's right,
doctors.
that's right. Well, that's good, that's great. In
Well,
Arkansas.
that's some good news. Well, check out those badass jets we got behind us today. Dr. Paul has a Harrier. You want to tell me a little something about that Harrier? Because
Yeah,
that's the first V-stall, that means vertical takeoffs, uh, jet that we've ever seen.
yeah, yeah, I think it's primarily developed by the British, I think the Hawker Corporation, Hawker Siddeley, and then, became very popular with the United States Marine Corps in the US. And I think they still fly them. They're probably transitioning to the F-35s now if they're still around. But, pretty capable airplane. I knew a couple of people that flew them, and, they said they're quite capable.
Yeah, they can turn on a dime because they can redirect their jets, can't they?
Yeah, yeah, it's that thrust vectoring. You see them sometimes, they'll land in a forest. They'll clear out an area, they'll land in a forest, they'll cover them up with trees so they can disguise them, somewhere in the battlefield.
Well, you see what I got behind me, huh? I
It
have
looks
my
good.
AI, that means AI did it. My man Ace drew this picture for me. I have my A6 intruder flying over the Resilient Lady. And if you notice, I have a bunch of bombs on my jet, and that's to protect the Resilient Lady in case anybody wanted to bother them, because we love Virgin Voyages. So here I am to protect you. Well, thank you, everybody out there, for listening to us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you for watching us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We truly appreciate all your letters. We appreciate all your support. And we have a newsletter, and that newsletter comes on our website, wingmanshow.com. That's Wingman, WINGMENSHOW.com, wingmanshow.com. And that newsletter this week is a great one. Best vacation tips for singles, because we were just talking about that. We were just talking about solo sailors. Oh, best vacation tips for singles. Great newsletter. I think everybody should read this one. How about on that website, we have something, Dr. Paul, you know it, called the frequent flow line. That's where people call us. And guess what? We have our guest here, and that's Ace. You remember our man Ace, don't you?
I remember Ace very well.
Good. Well, I am going to let me see if he's here. Hey, Ace, are you with us? We're live on the Wingman Show.
Absolutely. Let's do it. We'll bring that energy right onto the Wingman show. I'm excited to share those little nuggets with everyone listening.
All right. Well, Ace, I'm going to read you a letter that somebody wrote us, and I want to hear your opinion on it. He says, I'm a 49-year-old man from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been flying solo for a long time, and truthfully, I'm ready for something new. I'm not just talking about avoiding loneliness. I'm talking about real connection. I've been strong on my own, but now I want laughter in the next room, peace at the door, and someone to share life with. I'm not broken, just ready to love again, live again, and believe that that's the best chapters or still might be ahead. So my question is simple. How do I begin again? Why don't you tell us, Ace?
Well, first off, that's a really heartfelt letter. And I love that he's sharing that with you guys. And I'd say to him, beginning again is really about giving yourself permission to step into that new chapter with a bit of courage and a lot of openness. It's not about fixing something that's broken. It's just about letting yourself believe that those best chapters can still unfold. So I tell them, start by putting yourself in places where you can meet people who share your values. Maybe that's through hobbies, maybe it's through community events, maybe it's just through friends of friends. And most of all, be kind to yourself along the way. You've got a lot of life experience to share, and the right connection will appreciate that. So that's the gouge I give them. Just start small, be open, and trust that new beginnings can happen at any age.
Thank you, Ace. Ace is the bomb. What a great answer. What do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Ace. I would really tell the gentleman in Tulsa, Oklahoma, basically to do what we were talking about before. Just get out of the loop. Just get out, travel, move a little bit. Yeah, go to this, join a church, join a religious group, join a hobby, do all those other things. But the big thing is to get active, involved, and kind of get out of yourself, whatever limit you have there. See if you can take a few steps beyond that, then a few steps beyond that, and then a few steps beyond that. But get out there and go. You may find somebody in Greece with Commander Drew, or maybe somebody next door. But you have to get outside of your comfort zone sometimes and just give it a try. Just start.
And I think that that's exactly what we're talking about. Travel, that's a great one because, like we said, when you travel, that shows strength. And when you travel by yourself, that shows even more strength and that gives you courage. But there are billions of people in the world. And that means there is somebody for you, somebody to love again. And like Dr. Paul said, might be next door, might be in Turkey, might be in Boudreaux, but don't spend $500 on a lunch. Okay. All right. We're ready for that special part of our show called the Wingmen PSA. From the 11 facts in life, on the fact number 9, meditate and observe a Sabbath. Meditate and observe a Sabbath. Now, why I say meditate, number one, you have to be quiet sometimes. You have to give your body, your soul, your spirit, you have to give yourself some rest. And that's where the Sabbath comes in. Now, I don't care if your Sabbath is on Tuesday, Saturday, or Sunday, but your engine cannot run 24/7. You have to give your body, your mind, your spirit, and your soul a day of rest. And that's what a Sabbath is. What do you think about that, Doc?
Yeah, everybody needs some time to unwind and take it easy. If you're going 24/7, 24/7, you're going to burn out at some point. And if you don't do it consciously, your body will shut down at some point, whether you want to or not. So it's better to be in control of it and give yourself time to heal inside, just to rest. Rest is is the biggest part of healing. So don't get so busy that you forget to take care of yourself.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, Dr. Paul, we're getting ready to talk with Ace one more time about the gouge. And you know what the gouge is? The gouge is shit you need to know, but sometimes nobody tells you. Well, Ace, can you give us some good gouge today? You had a good couple of good ones about micro exercising and hydration. Tell us about that, Ace.
Absolutely, I'm on it. So yeah, for everyone listening, the gouge is just that good stuff you need to know that sometimes nobody really tells you. And one of those little nuggets is definitely micro movements. Basically, just those tiny little stretches or standing up every hour that can really add up to better health over time. And the other gouge I mentioned is about hydration timing. Just drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning can do wonders for waking up your body and your mind. So those are just a couple little pieces of healthy gouge to keep in your back pocket.
I agree with you, Ace. What do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Just start making the micro moves and improve and increase them as best you can, and vary things a little bit too.
That's right. Do not do the same workout every day. Your muscles need to be confused so they can work better. And Dr. Drew, my son, also told me that exercise is important, but eating good protein also will build muscles for you. Because if you don't eat correctly, there's nothing for your muscles to grow on. So he's got me big time into eating protein, Paul. You know the name of our show is called The Wingman Show, and that's because we always highlight somebody who's taking care of somebody else. Dr. Paul, I think you got a great wingman for us this week. Tell us about him.
Yes, Commander Drew, I've got a great wingman. This takes us to the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're talking about a bus driver named John or Big John Gooden. He's 68 years old. He's a retired Army vet, and he did something that was very noteworthy. It's called One Last Ride with a Twist. After 40 years behind the wheel, Big John Gooden was about to retire from the Milwaukee transit system. Known for giving free rides to veterans and never missing a day of work, he told his wife, quote, "When I go out, I want to go out doing something that matters." So on his final route, he detoured, not to the bar, not to the lake. He drove the bus, pre-cleared with transit officials, to the local VA hospital. And guess what was waiting outside? 20 veterans in wheelchairs. Some of them hadn't been out in months. John loaded every single one aboard and gave them a full circle tour of their old neighborhoods, the stadium, and the lakefront. Some cried, some saluted. One whispered, "Haven't felt the sun on my face like this in years." When they got back, John didn't give a speech. He simply said, "That's my last ride. Now it's yours." He handed over his keys, saluted the flag, and walked away in silence. So Big John did something really big for a lot of fellow veterans. They really needed a break themselves. And for that day, he made their day.
Wow, what a great story. What a great story. Big John, I salute you. And for everybody out there who can hear my voice, anything that you think is important, anything that you think is beautiful, and most importantly, anything that makes you happy, may you have that today and forever. I pray for peace.
I pray for peace too, Commander Drew. I hope you enjoy the rest of your cruise. And for all those who listen, like, and share our message, thanks for listening. Pass this on to someone else who wants to hear something good for a change. Please consider subscribing if you're not already a subscriber. That way you'll get a notification when we put something out. Also, keep the frequent flow line questions coming. We'll try to answer as best we can. And we appreciate your participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again, Dr. Paul Thompson, my friend. Thank you for your love, your time, and that's something that we won't ever get back. I want to thank all the listeners, too. Thank you so much for doing the show, Dr. Paul. We're jamming.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drew, for inviting me on. Always good to talk to you. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast or any of the podcasts. If you're looking at YouTube, they say smash the like button. Don't smash it. Just press it gently and refer to use as a link to all your friends. You can also look at us on our website, wingmenshow.com, WINGMEN show, SHOW.com, altogether, wingmenshow.com. And we hope to see you in the future. Thanks again, Mr. Drew.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're still floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you badass jet pilots, rumble. May there be peace on earth, and goodwill towards all men and women.